Duplicated. You're watching After the Whistle, episode 8.8. I'm your host, Brian Moore, along with Tom Krieger. Southwest Virginia and Region D, it's time to get your football fix. Hey, Coach, how you doing today?
Doing good, buddy. Just living a dream, as they say, I guess.
Well, it's football time, and it's been football time since August, but it's really football time now. It's playoff time in Southwest
Yeah.
Virginia and across the
We
state.
got edged out there at the end.
You get bumped out,
Yeah,
outpointed, I
we
guess.
got outpointed.
I tell you, they need to do something about that, don't
Yeah.
they? Well, there were a lot of teams that didn't make it. Of course, and we'll go over the brackets here real quick. We'll take a quick look at some scores from this past week and go from there. All right, real quick. Last week's scores, we got Burton
Hey,
17.
before we get started, it just hit me there. We need to send out special prayers to Michelle McLaughlin's
Yep.
family. As everyone knows, she passed away this past week. She is a fellow official of mine. I refereed a lot of games with her. She's refereed a lot of your games, and
Oh,
she
yeah.
did volleyball and softball, and just went fast, man. I mean, the she got sick a couple months ago, and I mean, you just never know, and it was a hard lick for the officials in every sport.
Yeah. Michelle, she didn't just coach basketball. I mean, excuse me, officiate basketball. She did football. She did volleyball. And if I'm not mistaken,
Softball,
softball. Yeah.
yeah, she did. I mean, she did it all, and she was dependable. I mean, like Brad Christian said, he's head of the basketball association. She'd go anywhere he asked her to, and that's the type of person she was.
Yeah, I had. It's funny you mentioned that because just this past summer we had a camp and we had something happen. A couple guys couldn't make it, and I made a phone call. And I don't know. I gave her like a 2 hour notice or something like that, and she told me that she would be there, and she would bring somebody with her to help us cover the games. And sure enough, she showed up and able to help us get the games covered. That's the type of person she was, and then, I really enjoyed her as far as basketball goes. But I really got a kick out of her when she was coaching, officiating football games early on because it was very odd to see a female out there
Uh,
doing that, and you could kind of cut up with Michelle, and she would cut up back with you all the
oh
time.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It was
yeah.
like I said, she refereed a lot of our games, and I've refed a lot with her. Uh, Funny human being, very pleasant, very nice. Never had any bad thing to say about anybody, unless if it was a coach that jumped her the next time I refed with her. And it was usually Brian Moore says,
Yeah.
"Do you know I had Brian Moore again?"
And she was a good one, and I agree with you. It was kind of a shocking loss, and she lost the battle with cancer,
With
and it was
cancer. Yeah,
it was very short too.
yeah, it was very aggressive, and it's I just hate it. I mean, just like everybody says, I mean, we joke about it all the time. Says, "Oh, you're not promised tomorrow. You're really not."
No, and that's a good example. I didn't even realize that she was sick, and
Yeah,
when I heard it,
nobody really did.
and it was just just like that. It's and you do this long enough, you get to know some of these people, and the longer you know them, the more you feel connected to them. And I know
Because you
when
see them all the time,
yeah, you
over and
see them,
over.
yeah, you sure do. And so yeah, my heart and thoughts and prayers go out to her family, and I understand that she had a fiance as well, and so thoughts and prayers for him as well.
Yeah.
It was difficult, but glad you mentioned that. Um, let's take a look at last week's scores real quick, and we'll move on. J.I. Burton 17, Tom Walker 14. This was a game that was moved all the way back. It was actually postponed, I think, until Monday.
Monday, yeah, a big win for Coach Cottle.
Yeah, uh, they needed that.
They did. They did. That was a good win, big win, and very needed.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good way to end the season too. Giving you something positive to look forward to going into next year. Giles 53, George Wythe 20. Uh,
True.
I didn't early in the year. I would have flipped that score earlier in the year. So Giles has been kind of a pleasant surprise this year. Honeacre
That was
38.
pretty good.
Yep. Rural Retreat. Rural Retreat 32. 38 32. Rural Retreat loses another close one. How many times we said that in the last 3 or 4 years? Northwood 15, Patrick Henry 14. This one kind of took me by surprise.
It did, and Beachy and the Cooper, they were ahead there for a little bit.
Uh, Snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
Victory here.
Who you got there? Oh,
Now,
is she coming in?
yeah, them Cody's must be getting close.
Hey, they're howling out here. You may hear my dogs barking here in a minute. Uh,
Uh,
Chill High 40, Holston 15. Probably for me the biggest surprise of the year has been Chill High. I did
oh
not.
yeah, and don't be surprised at the end. I'm not predicting this, but I will not be shocked if Chihali's not your region champion.
That's a bold prediction. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I
you
mean,
heard
I
it here
don't.
first. You heard it here first, Coach
That's
Kenny.
right.
So do not be surprised. Lebanon 50, Tazewell 14. Lebanon gets back in the win column. Virginia High 40, Marion nothing. Graham 56, Richlands 12. I tell you, I was a couple of comments about Graham. I was impressed with Graham. I've watched some game film on NFHS, and in my opinion, Graham is definitely playing their best football right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought they looked more focused. Not as many penalties, not as many of those careless.
They're looking fast.
Yeah, oh, they're fast. That's for sure.
I know.
Defense flying to the ball. I was impressed with them. And I felt like I said, I felt like they maybe had played with a little bit more discipline the other night than I had seen them in previous game film. And that's just a sign, going through the year, as a team, you start to mature. And I feel like uh, I saw that out of them. Lehigh 28, Abingdon 27. Huge win for Lehigh.
Big win. I mean, that might be the upset of the year.
Very, very, very
Well,
possible.
minus those four that Union got.
Yeah. Don't forget those.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. Ridgeview 34, Gate City 20. If you watched this game and looked at the stat line and everything, you would have thought Gate City won this ball game. But that's
That's
not
how
how.
Ridgeview wins them.
Ridgeview pulled it out and ended up getting that big touchdown there to the end to go up by 14. Grundy 38, Wise Central 35. The Wave wins their final game at Nelson Memorial Field.
And I think Wise was up like 28-7 at one time, or
Yeah, they were up.
21-7.
They were up, a couple of times. They went back and took the lead. Grundy managed to pull it out, and I know that meant a lot to the folks there at Grundy to be able to get that final win. Coach Bartley was able to see the Wave get that, and they had a little ceremony at the end where they blew the candle out. I think it was Leslie Horn, maybe former principal, maybe someone else was with her, but they blew a candle out there at Nelson Memorial Field and turned the lights out one last time. Grundy gets that win, and something a lot of old Grundy players and know yourself would appreciate. They let the football team come up out of the dungeon uh, one last time, and I think they invited any former players or alumni that may have been there.
But the only difference is they don't wear them old cleats no more. You don't hear them
No,
clank.
no, those old metal cleats. You can hear
Yeah,
that.
that's what it was about. They wear the molded.
Yeah. That's somebody mentioned that to me this week. Said that very same thing, but they didn't hear that clickety clack of those cleats.
Yeah, and
But
we
that
used
was
to change them brand new for Fridays, buddy, and the sparks would fly.
you didn't get any of those Richlands cleats, did you, from back in the
I
night?
might have. I might have.
All right, East Side 48, Castlewood Mustard Biscuit Brigade 8. Castlewood, tough season for the Blue Devils this year. Rye Cove 47, Twin Springs 26. This game actually was very competitive, fierce rivalry game. But in the end, Rye Cove just had a little bit too much. But this game was worth the price of admission because both teams were laying it out there. And then, of course, the final game, you guys closed the Clift down.
We did, and listen, boys, it was. I mean, you couldn't see in front of you.
I the mud and we seen the kids after the ball game and the rain coming down. You could just from the camera angle you couldn't really see it, but when you seen the mud holes and you see the water
Listen,
just bouncing off of it.
first of the game, it was just sprinkling. Everything was good. We was start of it, and they scored, and we come back and scored on the first play of the game, and then the gates, the flood. Just, I mean, that referee come over one time and asked, said, "Well, we'll just go to the locker room." I said, "Listen, we're not coming back." Said, "Yeah, you're right. We're playing."
Well, I guess, and that's kind of special too. I mean, you look at it from your own perspective, you're a little bit piece of history there. I know you'd like to won the game, but
Yeah,
at the same time, uh, you were there to close the Cliff out, and that was a very historic night. And it's bittersweet to see all that tradition come to an end because I've seen some great football games there.
yeah, it is, and I mean, change is good. I mean, we need it, but there'll be a lot of memories people can remember at these stadiums.
Yeah, and that's one of the most unique places in the country too. You'll probably never find another place like
Oh
that.
no.
Uh, we got the Palmers are listening from Bluefield there, and give you a shout out there, Coach Palmer and his wife.
Hello, is that the Snake Palmer?
Yeah, Snake. Yeah. Uh,
Uh,
somebody from Rye Cove commented that those vaulted cleats would have came in handy there Friday night, and I'm pretty sure they would
it
have.
sure would have come in handy for us. I know that.
All right. Well, let's take a look at. That's all we've got there. Well, real quick, folks, you know that guy. The one looks like he just stepped off a trail. Got that strong handshake, sharp beard, confident swagger. Looks a lot like me. Uh, that's not the
Yeah.
kind of look you get with a 3-in-1 body wash and a prayer. That's the kind of look that is earned and is well maintained with Wild Willie's. Wild Willie's, live free, stay wild with Wild
And,
Willie's.
I ain't seen the first check from Wild Willie's either, so
I haven't either.
I
So,
know that somebody's getting something.
well, we might. I haven't seen anything yet. But Wild Willie's uh, is a pretty good product. It helps you stay groomed, so consider it as a Christmas gift. And as on top of that, any purchase that you make, we get a little bit here at After the Whistle. All right, peak performers of the week. I got a few young men here. Just going to mention real quick. At Ridgeview Gate City game, Corey Bird from Gate City had 23 carries, 200 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. Want to give him a shout out this evening. Winter Boyd for Richlands against a really tough Graham team, and I'll tell you, every inch, every pass was contested. Graham is incredibly athletic. They're one of the few teams that can match up man coverage. Winter Boyd had 3 receptions, 113 yards, and a touchdown for Richlands. Eli Tweed for Holston in the loss had 18 carries and 115 yards rushing and a touchdown. And then we'd also like to recognize Aiden Bales from Lehigh, 33 carries, 158 yards rushing against Abingdon, and that big win for them. A couple of Russell County kids want to recognize real quick. From Honaker Tigers, okay, we get heat for not giving them enough love. Parker Lowe was 32 of 40, 323 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. And the injury, we talked about it earlier in the season, that was devastating at wide receiver for Honaker. But Tyler Hubbard has stepped in, has done a heck of a job. 12 receptions, 134 yards, receiving 2 touchdowns for them. And last but not least, we got to recognize Lane Jesse from Lebanon, recovering from a concussion. 16 carries, 82 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. He had 5 receptions, 127 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, and he had 8 tackles on defense. So came back big for Lebanon in their win against Tazewell. All right. So that's our peak performers of the week. Just wanted to give them a shout out and move on real quick there. All right. Talking smack. Only thing I've got this evening is a little bit of a topic, Coach. We discussed it just a few minutes ago, but I want to touch on this to kind of get your perspective on it. The Kentucky High School Athletic Association basically made a major shift and rewrote the playbook for every parent, every coach, every player, every administrator regarding transfers. And you know as well as I do that transfers is way up, and you can see this evident. I think it's a reflection of what's going on at the collegiate level as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're letting them go, and it's what it's going to be in high school. You're going to be able to go wherever you want.
Yeah, and this is coming to Virginia. It's just a matter of time. But one of the things they did, and some of the things that I don't like about this, and I'll share them with you, but it says if a student has played 20% or fewer of their varsity games. So, for example, it's football season, if you've played 2 games, you can transfer tomorrow and play immediately for whoever it is you transfer to.
That's crazy.
Now, if you've played more than 20%, naturally that's going to they've got some obstacles in there to try.
You got to pack up and move, I guess.
Yeah, you got to decide early on if you don't like the coach and you're not getting football you want. That's what it is. So you got 2 games. I think it's in football, 6 games in basketball, and 7 in baseball and softball. After you've played that many games, you can transfer immediately and play for someone else. And some of the reasoning behind this is what's got me stumped. First of all, they said the reason they're addressing it is because they went from 200 and some kids requesting transfers about 3 years ago to over 700 and some people requesting transfers within the last year. And they're saying that this is just going to make things a lot easier, a lot less paperwork. And the thing that gets me about all this, I can see how that would be easier. You just do it. Johnny played 2 games for this school, now he's going to that school. There's no paperwork. It's perfectly fine. The thing that gets me is they're blaming the schools that the kids are leaving. They're saying that the coaches are locking these kids in,
holding them hostage,
basically. And so what we would call following the rules, they're saying is you're holding the kid hostage. You're the bad guy. The coach is always the bad guy. And it looks like the Kentucky High School Athletic Association is saying the coach is the bad guy in this case. And the administrator, whoever it is, it's enforcing, the policies. It's basically going to be the Wild West in Kentucky, it looks like, when it comes to
well, like you said, they just opened it up like the NCAA. I mean, they're just going to let them go.
People are still going to do it. Recruiting is still considered illegal in Kentucky, but you know as well as I do, if you're in a situation where kids can now do this and automatically transfer, it's going to increase. They think transfers are bad now. Wait till next year. I would predict.
Oh, yeah.
They
over 1,000.
Yeah, over 1,000 easy. It's going to happen. And they keep saying that this is, they want families to have more freedom to move their athletes. I thought we were in the high school where we're supposed to be
in it to learn.
Get an education, but that's not the case anymore. And
we don't need no education.
You hit the nail on the head. But nonetheless, we're I don't know. You start treating these kids like, you see what it's doing to college football and basketball, and now it's going to creep. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's still very interesting to see all this unfold. And on top of that, the last thing, the Kentucky High School Athletic Association, as well as a few other schools across the country have adopted a 35-second shot clock in basketball, and that's a big deal because we're talking Kentucky basketball. And
There'll be a lot of shots fired up.
yeah, and I personally hate this rule. I'm totally opposed to it. But at the same time, if it goes into effect in Virginia, I'm not going to be kicking rocks or anything like
Yeah.
that. I can live with it. I just don't support it. But if it becomes part of the rule, it's part of the rule. I mean, heck, I remember
And
when
then you got to change the way some people, change the way you coach sometimes.
yeah, and I think kids right now don't have the skills necessary, and you can make an argument that if you're asking them to hurry up and shoot shoot the
They're
ball
already doing that.
sooner, now it's going to be even worse. Uh, but and by the way, that push-up contest that we were going to have between Krieger and Tester, we did have to cancel it. Word on the street is Krieger that Tester has chickened out.
Yeah, he got intimidated.
All right, we got a fan from East Side for Rocky Bond here. Donna is watching. Hey, Donna, appreciate you tuning in. Let's see who we got here. Pikeville. We got some Pikevilles never recruited anyone, so get that out of there.
It ain't gonna change. It's just gonna help them.
Yeah, yeah. Just all they've done is just open up. They thought it was bad. Now across the state of Kentucky, it's going to get really interesting. All right, with that out of the way, that's all we got for talking smack this week. It was something I thought was worthy of mentioning. We'll take a look at our Super 7 real quick. Across Region D, coming in at number 7, we got the Lebanon Pioneers getting back in the win column. Number 6, we got the East Side Spartans. Number 5, Virginia High Bearcats. Number 4, Gate City Blue Devils. Graham G-Men keep climbing that ladder. They're at number 3 now. Ridgeview Wolfpack at 2, and the Union Bears coming in at number 1. Any thoughts on that real fast?
Listen, you might as well put the G-Men up at the top. Mark it down, baby. Mark it down.
They're on the same side of the bracket now with the Union Bears, and that's potentially could set up a major semifinal.
Well, it's like, somebody other than Union and Graham's going to be in the finals.
That's right.
It's going to be Union and somebody or Graham or somebody, but I'm predicting the G-Men.
Shout out to Donna there, Rocky Bond's grandmother. She's watching the show here this evening. Appreciate it. We got another comment real quick before I move on here. Rycove99 says he feels sorry for schools trying to find another person to keep the shot clock. I agree 100%.
Amen. And referees trying to watch it.
Exactly right. And then you're going to have to train somebody how to operate it. You're going to have the expense of installing one everywhere.
Well, I feel like if the Virginia High School League does it, I think they'll pay like they do like they did the cameras with NFHS.
Yeah.
I think they'll give them to the schools if they do it because schools just can't. What if they don't want to do it?
That's true. And
like I said, the VHSL, they going to run and hide if you threaten to sue or whatever. I've said it for 5 or 6 years now. We need to start our own.
Well, you're not blowing smoke.
People will be ready to leave the Virginia High School League.
Yeah. I think that's eventually where all this is going to lead to. You're going to have people playing, how we got conferences, super conferences now in college and stuff. You're going to have something similar to that at the high school level before it's over with. All right, well, let's move on from that. It's time, folks. Each week we try to stump the Craig at this time, and we're going to give it one more shot here tonight. The way this works is I have an envelope, and inside this envelope there is a question. He's going to tell me the answer to this question before I ever read it. He's putting his thinking hat on now. This envelope has been kept in a bank vault for the past 2 weeks under the watchful eye of armed security. It was recently delivered here to my home by a Brinks armored truck. Gentleman wearing a black suit, sunglasses, and a briefcase, and this was handcuffed to his wrist. He delivered it here to my home. I have not seen the contents. Have you?
No.
All right. With that being said, the first question up, Coach Krieger, what is the answer?
The answer is Meowton.
Mountain.
Meowton. Meowton.
All right, Meowton. Is that like a?
Meowton.
Okay, I'm just
My
going.
wife just called me stupid. She thinks I missed it.
Okay, so all right, even she's questioning you. Here we go. Let's see what the answer is. What do you call a pile of cats?
Meowton.
I swear, I thought we got you.
No.
All right, we failed. I never heard that word a meowton before, but I guess if you had a pile of cats, speaking of cats, uh, anybody interested in a Himalayan cat, let me know. Will you be interested in one?
I am not.
Okay,
That's too
well,
far to go get one. I can't go to the Himalayas.
anybody that is interested in a Himalayan cat, let me know in the chat there. Feel free to let it be known because Himalayan dead in the road down there because I just ran over him on the way to the house accidentally. Just kidding, folks. No cats were harmed. No cats were harmed during filming of this show or on my way to the show. All right. With that being said, I have one more question here to see if we can stump the Craig. What is the answer to this question?
Stew.
Say that again.
Stew.
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 Stew or stew?
Stew.
All right. Let's see what we got here.
Are you saying Pam or Pan?
That's true. All right. Final answer.
Stew.
Okay. Here we go. What do you call man with gravy and potatoes on his head?
Stew.
That's a good one. All right, folks. Once again, we have failed to stump the Craig. Maybe next time. But now it is time to take a look at Region D playoff picture and make our predictions for this upcoming week. All right, let's see what we got here, Coach. Pull these up. All right, we're going to start out with Region 1, Class 1, Region D, 1D. And on the left side of the bracket here, I'm looking at, we've got East Side squaring off with Rural Retreat. And they will play, the winner of that will play the winner of Honaker and Northwood. East Side is the 1, Rural Retreat is the 8. Who you got and why?
I'm going with East Side. I mean, that's who we've been with all year. I think they might be healed up a little bit or still might be banged up, but I think the whole region's banged up at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's really coming in the games healthy, but I'm going with East Side.
Okay, I'm going with East Side as well, but I think Honaker could really put a dent in this. I almost wanted to pull the up, pick the upset, but I think East Side's got enough. I think I said Honaker, excuse me.
Rural Retreat.
Rural Retreat just has the injuries in the wrong place. They're very well coached. I just don't think they can last. And if they get the running game established and can do something, this might be a close game at least at halftime. But I'm going with East Side as well. All right. So the winner of that game, we're calling it now, is going to be East Side. Up next, we got Honaker and Northwood. Now, these two teams have already met, and the Tigers got them. This one's going to be at Honaker.
I'm going with the Tigers. I'm going with Parker Lowe and company.
I am too. I think Honaker's got it. Actually, they hit a roadblock there with some injuries, and now they seem to be gaining some momentum back. And my understanding, their defense is playing a little bit better as well. Northwood's had a great run this year. And really surprised a lot of people. Got a big win against PH. But I think Honaker's offense is going to be just a little bit too much. But, Northwood, if they can control the clock and keep Parker Lowe off the field, they've got a chance to pull the upset. But I'm going with the Tigers also.
Yeah, I'm going with the Tigers.
All right, so we're looking at ATW's calling it East Side versus Honaker in the semifinals. All right, Next interesting game, you've got Chilhowee and Twin Springs. Twin Springs is going to bring it. You know as well as
Yeah.
I do, they're going to be
That's going.
game.
It's going to be a heck of a game. Good game. Probably the best game out of all of them.
Um, but I think Chilhowee got just a little bit too much right now.
Yeah, I mean, playing. I mean, they've got the mojo, as I should say. I'm not saying they're the better team or anything like that. They're hot at the right time.
And their crowd shows up well, especially for big games like this. And Twin Springs travels well.
Oh yeah, the go big red
Yep. I'm going with
with a
Chilhowee.
stomp, with
Oh,
a
yeah.
Hulk stomp,
Huh?
with a Hulk stomp in the
Oh
stands.
yeah, I remember. I remember Big Red. Yeah, Big Red. For those of you that don't know, we're not talking about the Big Red Army. We're talking about Big Red that used to lead the Big Red Army.
Big
Uh,
go big red.
Chilhowee Warriors with the win there. We're in agreement on that. Next, we got Rye Cove and Holston. I think the Cavs have gotten probably the best they could have got out of this season. Probably could have won.
Absolutely.
I think they could have maybe won another game that they're probably wishing that they hadn't have lost, but they've actually performed better than what people anticipated
Oh yeah.
in the season. But I think Rye Cove is kind of on a mission. They want to get back into that championship game there.
I'm going with the Cove.
Same here. So we're calling it East Side versus Honeacre and Chilhowee versus Rye Cove in the semifinals of 1D. All right, moving on now to Class 2, Region D. Some big games coming up here. We'll start on the left side of the bracket as I'm looking at it. Union. Lee is traveling to Bullitt Park. Lee getting the big win there last week, but I tell you what, they're running into a monster. Nobody wants to play Union right now.
No.
Lee has the unenviable task of doing so. I think Union rolls in this.
Big.
Big. You don't want to admit it, but are you picking them, or are you thinking it's going to be a big upset?
No comment.
All right. Next game. This game is actually going to be hosted at Richlands High School. Graham, Gate City will be the visitor, so it's Graham and Gate City. Graham coming in at 4, and Gate City is the 5. Gate City a little banged up. Graham, I really think, is peaking at the right time. Like I told you earlier in the year, I would have took Gate City before week 5.
Oh yeah, Gate City's played good there early. They're still playing good. Just got on the wrong side, and yep. I mean it's tough playing the G-men at this point.
That's right. If Gate City was on the other side of that bracket, they could on the opposite bracket. They could win it.
That's right.
But
that's right.
Tough spot.
Yeah.
So I got Graham in this one. What about you?
G-men.
One positive thing for Gate City, if they can keep Graham off the field, move the ball.
Well, there ain't many people been able to do that last 3 weeks.
I'll be honest with you, Graham's defense. Now they're a tough out by themselves.
They are.
They're good. They get to the ball, they fly to the ball, and every yard is contested. All right, so we're calling it Union versus Graham in the semifinals at Bullitt Park. Go ahead and get your tickets, or go ahead and get in the line, because I think that's definitely going to happen. All right,
done deal.
We got Richlands and Ridgeview. The Blues are back in the playoffs for the first time in 4 years. So really good territory, and they're excited over there to be back in this position. They're facing a very tough Ridgeview team, very well coached Ridgeview team as well.
Yeah.
What's your take?
At Ridgeview, I'm going with the Wolfpack.
I'm wondering if the Fog's going to roll in.
Well, if the Fog rolls in, I'm still going with the Wolfpack.
I think Richlands needs to keep Ridgeview off the field as much as possible. That's going to be difficult with a pass-oriented offense. Ridgeview is very physical. I think Richlands has some momentum, and the kids are actually thinking that maybe they can get this win, so they're pretty optimistic about it.
Well, it's not far fetched. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be be a good game. But defensively, man, Ridgeview and Richlands has to get first downs.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you said, you got to keep them off the field, and they can't play behind the chains. And Ridgeview's defense all year has been tough.
That's the thing that concerns me, being on the Richlands side of it. I think Richlands' defense is going to be key to how well they play in this game. If their defense can contain
That's
Ridgeview's
right.
run game, and they've been questionable up front all year. But I'm going with the Blues in this one.
Well, and if Richlands don't turn the ball over, it'll be a great game.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of kids that are not looking forward to this being their last game, and they seem to be well
That
coached.
plays a part in how you play too.
It does. So I'm calling the upset here. I think Richlands gets the win. Um, Virginia High, Lebanon. Lebanon now are going to Virginia High. Lebanon is a team that's struggled with injuries. It's played a major role. Virginia High seems to have some pretty good momentum right now. Lebanon still coming, Jesse coming back and having the performance he did is good. I think Lebanon is going to make this a little bit more interesting. If they can contain Virginia High's run, and you get those guys in space, man, they're just fast.
Yeah, I was there last year when they played Virginia High at Virginia High when they Caden Boyd broke those records and Mike was throwing all over the field, but they just couldn't stop at number 3. And I think they'll have a hard time again containing again. It's going to be a close game, but I think the speed of Virginia High, they come out on top just by hair. by about 8 inches.
All right. Well, I'm going Virginia High as well. I think Lebanon is capable of pulling this off, but I'm going to go with Virginia High. And so on our end, we've got Virginia High and Ridgeview squaring off in the semifinals, and Union and Graham squaring off. I think we've got some exciting football coming up, and it's going to be interesting.
I know one thing. Virginia High and Lebanon and Ridgeview and Richlands are loving life right now.
Yeah.
All 4 of them got a chance to go to the region finals.
Yeah, and don't think that's, as well as I do, that's came up on everybody's.
That's right. Not having to worry about the G-men or the other team.
All 4 coaches, and none of them would admit it, but all 4 coaches are sitting here saying, we can make it to the Region D championship.
That's right.
There's players on both teams that are saying that. And anything can happen this time of year. Weather does play a factor. Who knows what the weather's going to be like. And that could change, a pass team. It could affect a team that's more pass oriented, a team that's more run oriented. It could favor them. I mean, who knows what's
right.
So the Region D playoffs shaping up to be very, very interesting. All right, well, folks, there you are. There you have it. Those are our picks for the Region D playoffs. Coach, you got anything else before we get out of here?
Nope, I'm good. Good luck to everyone in the playoffs. It's fun times practicing over Thanksgiving.
Not a lot of people get. That's exactly right.
Not a lot of people get to. After this week, we'll have a few playing over Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and if you've never had that opportunity to practice, play around that time, it's special. I mean, it's a long grind, but it's very special to be out there doing that. Rycove 99, before we leave, says Mark Palmer finds ways to pull off upsets. Should be a dandy in Honaker.
It'd be a good one.
Linda says Coach Rat strong. And I think that's all we got there. With that being said, that's all I have, Coach. You don't have anything else?
I do not.
Until next time, I'm Coach Moore.
I'm Coach Krieger.
Reminding you that just because you're not paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. Good day, folks.